That's right. Well, I'm pumped, man, because everything we've been talking about is coming true.
100%.
And shockingly, I mean, it's almost like we know what we're talking about. It's almost like we've seen this show before. It's almost like we've watched these macroeconomic trends and we know exactly what happens when it happens and how it happens, which is why we're here.
It's kind of it's crazy. It's like, you've been in business for just a little while and you haven't seen almost everything and you
Right?
can't, identify anything that's happening. It's like it's kind of crazy. Like just like
Yeah. Cycles repeat themselves, right? What do they say? Success leaves clues.
oh
And
yeah.
you know it to happen. I mean, it's so interesting for me to see how some people don't see it, right? I mean, it's like literally it's right there in front of your face, right? You know the economy has no choice but to do what it's about to do. Even if they don't want to do it, they have to do it because things are bad. They do not want a collapse of economic system. And if they don't cut rates, they're going to. They should have done this months ago, right?
Yep.
Many, many months ago. And it was really stupid not. What I'm hoping happens as a result of this one is they realize that this is a way more fluid economy and you can't work on lagging indicators anymore. It's just stupid. You can't wait quarter after quarter and look at data from the past when you're making decisions that affect the largest economy, one of the largest economies in the entire world, and
Especially
especially
especially when it takes 3 to 6 months for any of these indicators to start to shift once you make that change. Like it's such a retroactive thing. You make these decisions, and 3 to 6 months later, you start to see the impact and effect.
right,
So by the time everybody's making all of these decisions, it's like you said, that's why they're calling them too late. Too late, pal. Like it's not that he's doing a bad thing, a wrong thing. It's just we're looking at it from the wrong perspective. We're looking at it from indicators trying to project what to do forward instead of looking at what has happened in the past and saying, hey, we got it wrong before. Maybe we can do something different this time so we don't have these peaks and valleys and we can keep things a little more fluid.
right. So now what do? Right, we know it's coming, right? We know. I mean, this is the analogy we talked about before. Is we're sitting on our boards in the water, and we're looking back. There's a wave coming, and if you just wait and don't do anything, the wave will do this to you. You're gonna go whoop, and you're gonna be right where you are, right? And the wave's gonna pass you, or you're gonna actually go, shit, this is gonna be fun. Let me actually do a little bit of effort, right? And paddle a little bit and start using a little bit of energy, right? And start moving in the direction where you see the waves coming and start paddling, catch a little momentum. So when the wave comes, you're riding with the wave and then you could ride the whole damn thing in, right? All of us have been in the water and it can relate to what I'm talking about, right? So that's where we're sitting right now.
And the challenge is the market is going, as this wave comes and the market comes, it's going to move you either way. It's going to tick you up. If you are active in the market, even the slightest bit, it's going to elevate you a little bit. And you're
Hmm.
going to get this false sense that you're getting results from things that you've done when you haven't put enough effort in to really reap the major benefits of it. So that's going to be the challenge for a lot of us is you're going to see that, oh, I got this buyer that came back in, I got this listing. But all it's going to do is it's just going to elevate you up a little bit, and that wave is going to pass, and you're going to be back in the same position again. You're going to be riding the roller coaster. What we're trying to do is give you some ideas, some tools, a little bit of narrative, some talk track to get ahead of it, to put the effort in, to get your motivation and your mindset in the right place. Start taking action. Should have done it 3 weeks ago, but the best second time to do it is right now. Let's get out there and take some action because as you take action right now, you're going to start reaping the rewards and the benefits. And now we're going to get a better impact from the wave that hits us rather than just riding it up and down. We're going to ride this thing all the way in and we're going to squeeze every little bit out of it that we can. And then guess what happens whenever that wave passes us? Now we're going to be able to keep putting effort in, go back out for the next one while we're still reaping benefits of the past wave because we filled our pipeline. This is just this cycle. So it doesn't matter what the market is doing. We just figure out how we can maximize the market, get the most effort in, and get the most results out from what's going on. But we're going to get these efforts either way if we keep putting this action in.
Right. And some of us are going to have the best Q1 in Q2 and Q3 of our entire careers, right? And those are the ones that you are here right now. You're the one that wants to ride the wave. So that's what we're doing. And here's the one thing that was really hitting me this weekend that I want to make sure we really touch on. The game's changed, guys, right? All these people that have been iced on the sidelines for the last 2 or 3 years and just said, done. I'm just going to stay in my apartment. I don't care, right? I'm just not going to buy 7% interest rates. And now they're going to start looking. What's changed? What's changed in the past couple of years? If you're a buyer and you're about to jump back into the market, what's different? Anybody?
Buyer broker agreements.
Mhm.
Yeah. What do they think? They're going to say, "Hey, Jimmy, want to take us out and
Let's
look
go look
around
at this
some houses
house."
this weekend?" That's what's going to happen. "Hey, man, I want to go look at houses this weekend." And they think it's 22 months ago, and you're just
Yep.
going to drop all of the shit that you're doing. You're going to throw them in your car and you're going to cruise around, and they maybe not are ready to buy, and you're going to tour them, right? That's what's going to happen, guys.
Yep. So here's the narrative that every single one of you needs to adopt. Instead of great, let's talk about houses, let's go see some houses, let's pick some houses, or hey, you're not working with anybody else, are you? It needs to be that's awesome. I'm so glad you called me. Let me tell you how I handle my business. Has anybody taken the time to really sit down and show you what it takes to buy a home in today's market? That's the sentence you should all be starting off with, because what it took to buy a home in the market in 2021, 22, 23 is completely different than what it's taking right now in 2024, the end of 24 and 25, from a simple buyer broker perspective and having to have contracts and having those discussions, but then also how we're strategizing, how we're negotiating, how we're offering. Has anybody taken the time to really sit down and show you what it takes to buy a home in today's market? I'd love to have that opportunity. When's a good time we can sit down? Let me interview for the job of being your buyer's agent. I don't care if it's your brother, your mom, your best friend, a person you met at an open house. Every single one of you should start every conversation when somebody's talking about buying a home like that, because it's completely different than it was before, and you need to take control.
Here's what I'm so excited about right now. Let's put our business hat on, right? Let's put our super greedy business hat on for a second. We want to collect a ton of cash. We want to do a bunch of deals, and we want to make a generational difference in our family and our wealth, right? Is that a fair assessment?
100%.
Right? So here's what we need to do. From a greedy business perspective, you're going to do this. You're going to capture everything you could possibly capture. You're going to be a squirrel finding these nuts, and you're going to bury them. You're going to hide them, and they're yours, right? And here's the difference, guys. A couple years ago, you thought they might be yours, and then they ghosted you and they bought from an open house, or they went to somewhere else. Now, how do you secure your nut? EBBA, right?
An ABBA.
Jimmy,
BBBA.
let me sit down with you. A lot's changed in the last couple of years. Is anybody taking the time to explain to you how it's different? I want to interview for the job to be your agent. I'm the best person, blah, 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 right? So that's the point. So Lauren, the problem lies the other co-brokers are not trained, right? So we're going to jump in and totally control the narrative, push people off the fence, get them to interact with you, start the DM, start the text messages, fill your pipeline of appointments, and you're going to sign EBBAs, not touring agreements, EBBAs, because as soon as you do, they're mine. You can't touch them. You can look at it, but you can't touch it. It's mine. I'm going to go get 20 people that are in the dreaming phase right now, and I'm going to steal them all, and I'm going to stuff them in my pocket, and I'm going to keep them. And you can't get them because they're under flipping contract with me. They can't be yours. Even if they said, "Oh man, I like to work with Chris." Too bad. My nut. Right? True story.
Oh,
True
yeah.
story.
That's
So,
what
but
we've never
that
had before.
that's predicated on you having the right conversations with them up front, because how is what I said different from what any other agent is going to say? Oh, that's great, that's awesome, yeah, let's pick some houses, and then they show up at a house and they throw a piece of paper in front of them and ask them to sign it. That's not really comfortable for somebody. Like, what are you doing? I've never had to do this before. I don't feel right about this. I don't care how good of a relationship you have. It's going to be a little uncomfortable, and you never explain something to them. We're going to take the time. We're going to explain exactly what's going on in the market, exactly why you need to hire me, exactly why you're signing this piece of paper, and what it authorizes me to do for you so that I can go out for you and get the most amazing, badass deal on the next home that you're going to get. Did you realize that you're going to save it just because of interest rate alone and how much it's dropped? You're going to save about $180 a month. Something just because of that right now. That's just now. That's not even what's going to be projected in the future. So come on now, let's have a real conversation. Let me show you what it takes to buy a home in this market, the way today's market is right now, because it's different than what we've dealt with before. Let me interview for the job.
And here's the other fun part about this one right now is it's just starting. Remember, it's 18 to 24 months is the time period from a buyer that starts dreaming with the glass of wine, saving and favoriting shit on Zillow and Homes.com and Realtor.com, and they're saying, honey, wouldn't it be nice if, right? That's the honey, wouldn't it be nice if conversations. We haven't heard those in years. They're starting right
They
now.
started 2 years ago. They started 2 years ago, and they didn't decide to do anything right now. They
They
have been
gave up.
going through. Yeah.
Good point, Jimmy. So they're some of them are at that end saying, man, only when we will do this when, right? And then you got other people that have just put it out of their mind. They're going to start. So look, you can have a pipeline for here. So my point of this is their EBBAs, get them with the dreamers right now, right? Even if they're not going to pull the trigger, their credit's screwed up, right? And they need 6 months to figure their stuff out. Great. Are you still planning on being in the business next April? I hope so, right? Taking a year, 18-month EBBA, right? Process there and get them under contract, right? I love
Yes.
Lauren's visual, right?
Mine.
Do them for a year, the seagull and Finding Nemo, right? Mine. Right? That's what we got. I'm so pumped, guys. This is such an opportunity. EBBA is just like a listing, guys. It is an
100%.
exclusive right to buy.
Need to
Basically.
be treating that exactly like a listing agreement. And I've been hearing agents turn around and say, you know what, I don't want to deal with listings. I just want to focus on buyers. That's fine if that's what you want to do, but
Great.
treat it like those listings when you get something signed so you have something to fall back on. You know, the challenge right now, I think, is, you know, as we've been talking through this the past few weeks, I think the challenge for each one on this call and everybody in the brokerage and just in general is really, what are you going to take away from this? This is great information that we're talking about. We're going to continue to give you all these nuggets to do, but what are you going to do with this information, right? How are you going to, who are you going to focus on, right? Who are you going to spend the time communicating with? We're talking about making connections, and that's how everything kind of, how this world kind of spins, right? So, you know, just keep in mind as we're going through all these things, you got to, what nuggets are you going to be able to take and start delivering that so we can control what that narrative looks like to everybody that's out there? I mean, if you go online and look at real estate news right now, I mean, the first thing that's popping up is interest rates are coming down and now's the time to buy. Like, it's literally happening right in front of our face. So how do we control that even more? Right?
Yep. And I say this, it's who are you going to talk to? Everybody. Everybody. Like, so just use the graphic that the mental graphic that Jeff's has told you a couple times. We had 4 million home sales last year. We've had it's going to be about 4 million home sales this year. We came off of 1 to 2 years of 5.4 to 6 million home sales. That's at least 3 million home sales less over 2 years of people that decided to slow down. Plus, delistings are at an all-time high of 17% of all listings have come off the market. That's the highest it's been in forever. So add in all of the properties that came off the market because they didn't get what they wanted. Add in the 3 million minimum people that did not buy or sell over the last 2 years. So you need to talk to everybody. Everybody is a possible, like every sphere of influence, every homeowner, everybody that you know that you can get in front of needs to hear this message, because you never know which one is the one that's been sitting there going, well, you know, when interest rates do this, or when I can get this for you never know when it's going to change. And every single person needs to hear from you, because if you don't, they're going to be driving by an open house sign and stop in and get an EBBA with the guy that's at that open house. Or they're going to go to a new construction, or they're going to call the phone number on some radio program of somebody 1-800 We Buy Houses to sell their house to them, because that's just what was in front of them. It's about the awareness of it. So everybody needs to have a conversation from you. You can get more selective and you can have some awesome conversations and you can really dig in and master that craft, but you can also decide that I'm going to make sure that I double down on everybody that's in my phone, everybody that's in my neighborhood, and I am not going to stop for the next 60 to 90 days minimum, because this will make the biggest difference in my business in the next 2 to 4 years. It's going to do amazing things for you this year if you do that, but it is going to completely set you apart from everybody else in the next 2 to 4 years if you fill your pipeline up right now.
And the question of how much work is it going to take to fill your pipeline, okay? Because if you're just, I'll use my nut squirrel, and even a blind squirrel finds a nut, right? Right? That's a crass way of saying, even if you suck, you're going to get a couple deals in a rising market, right?
Yes.
But that's not you. That's not why you're here. You're not allowed to suck when you're with us, right? That's just not acceptable, not okay, right? Because you're part of a team and you got to pull your weight and be the best you can be, because so are your teammates. That's just the way the culture, that is what it is, right? So how are you going to increase your closing rate, So if you're talking with somebody, would you rather talk to 72 people to get an EBBA sign or 7?
7
Okay. And you know what it is. People like people who are like themselves.
themselves.
You need to learn and sharpen your skill. D personalities, I's, recognizing are they S, recognizing their C's, recognizing are they visual, recognizing are they auditory, recognizing are they kinesthetic, are they emoji people, are they quick talkers, are they slow talkers, are they, how are they articulating their words, or what's their facial expressions, are they hand talkers, are there, what's their eye contact? I mean, guys, this is a sales business, people and communications business. So if you are not taking the time to craft your skill, what the hell are you doing? Why are you even, what are you doing, right? Put some time in your schedule to learn. And look at that, what Caitlin just happened to drop right into the chat, right? There's the master of communication skills right there on Beggins University. If your butt has not been to Beggins University in the last week or so, take your hand, you're not on camera, and smack yourself in the face and saying, wake up, right? It's sitting there right there on a silver platter for you right now, just to get better and get better and get better. 10 minutes a day, right? 5 minutes a day, half an hour a day, 2 hours a day. How committed are you to that, right? So that's the thing about talking with people. Might as well be the best at it while you're doing it. So you have to talk to fewer people, right? You're going to spend less time learning to be good than you are trying to talk to people and be bad, right? So it's an efficiency thing on that.
Yep.
So let's talk about sellers for a second, because Chris, you said it a second ago, and Jimmy, right? The delistings are at an all-time high, right? Those are people that said, dude, I've been on the market for 5 months. I'm tired of keeping my bed made. I don't really want to sell right now anyway. Screw it. Take me off the market. That's the
Yep.
conversation that we're having right
Yep.
now. What's about
We're
to
seeing
happen?
expired listings at an all-time high, delistings at an all-time high. That just means that anybody who took it withdrawn temporarily off the market, expired, canceled, somebody who just said, I'm just not going to do it. But we're also still seeing a large portion of them. The stat shows it was like 47% of them within the next 12 months will relist their home. So we have
That's
a
just, and that's
all-time.
just a typical, and that's just a typical.
That's an average market. Now, when
Average.
you throw in that's like
Yes.
what's happened average over the last 2 years, 47% of the expired listings came back on within 12 months. And 40%, you had a 40% higher likelihood of selling if you listed with a different agent. Just
Right.
that simple stat alone just tells me that if you wanted to focus on anything right now, tell me anywhere else where you can go and you can start talking to people, and statistically 1 out of every 2 basically will put their home on the market in the next 12 months. That's just a simple stat. It's like 47%. So basically 50%. 1 out of every 2 people you talk to will put their home on the market in the next 12 months. That's the stat of it. So if you wanted to really master something, master expireds right now. Go put that in your, go into the Beggins University, go through the expireds. It's got scripts, it's got role plays, it's got everything in there. Learn everything you can. You can find every person's contact information if it's in public record with Beggins University, the who's who AI that's in there, and just start talking to every expired that you can, because 1 out of every 2 will be on the market in the next 12 months. And who are they going to be talking to? And if they list with you rather than the guy they listed with before, they have a 40% higher likelihood of selling that property, because you're going to step in and you're going to bring a fresh look to it, tell them the truth. And then on top of everything we do that's better and different than everybody else, we're going to be able to take advantage of the shift in the market as well and make sure that we strategize the right way. Because just because the market is shifting doesn't mean you're going to get the number you wanted. We still got to tell them the truth. The truth is your price is not going to be affected that much right now. It could change in certain micro markets. It could, but it's not going to affect the price right now. So don't just take and put it back up at that high price. We need to make sure we're still doing the strategies and telling them the truth, walking through the processes. Jeff, you were going to add something.
No, I was going to add it's the same thing. The only thing we sell is an appointment, right? That's, you wake up in the morning, you're an appointment seeking individual, right? That is your job. Your whole job is to get an appointment, to sit in front of somebody's face, whether it's Zoom or in their living room. That's it, right? 1 appointment a week equals $120,000 this trimester, right? We've already gone through the numbers. I'm not going to do it again. 1 appointment. So the question is, hey, seller, blah, blah, blah. 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, which one's better for you, right? You've got to figure out, let's go through your micro market. Let's go through your motivation. Do you have to sell this house, or you kind of just want to, right? Are you tired of living here because it's too big for you and you're an empty nester and you're tired of living in only 4 of the 12 rooms in your house? Or is it getting a little bit too expensive? Like, what's going on in your world? Talk to me. Because if you're a buyer, then that changes our conversation completely. If you're going to sell this house to move into another one, that's a whole different conversation, because we might be better off leaving a little money on the table right now, right? Just to get out of here, because the herd hasn't come yet. It's on its way. I can hear the footsteps, but it's not here yet. But here's the problem. If you wait for that herd to get here, the house you're going to go buy up in Thanota Sassa is going to have the herd when you're there too. And now you're going to overpay and you're going to lose all your leverage on the buyer side. So just like you're going to give up a little bit right now, that seller right now is going to give up a little bit for you too. Now, if you wait until, guys, I'm telling you, the Fed went way too low, way too slow on this one. We're going to see we're going to see multiple rate hikes by the end of this year, right? And when we do, the herd's just going to get faster and faster and faster. If you wait, there's going to be risk factors in there. It might totally screw you, because if Jimmy's living in Oak Woods Lane neighborhood and all of a sudden 12 people say, thank God the rates are down, let's move, honey, and they all pop their house on the market, they're screwing each other, because it is totally lopsided supply and demand, right?
Yep. And even if that doesn't happen, and now you are a buyer, you're a seller in a different neighborhood, but want to move into a neighborhood that everybody's trying to buy into, now you're going to have to overpay on that home just because everybody else came back into the market. So you're playing both sides of it. It might be better to get your home sold now. Hey, let's take 10 grand less right now because I'm
Yep.
going to get you 30 grand off of the next one in
Yep.
incentives and concessions. I just saved you 20 grand, but if you wait too long, now, yeah, we might make 10 grand more, which is a $20,000 swing, but I can't get you 30 grand on that next home. You're going to have to pay full price, no concessions. So now you left 10 grand on the table rather than benefiting by $20,000 by doing it my way. We have to be able to talk these strategies.
Right, but you can't do it until you have the appointment.
Appointment.
That's it, right? The appointment isn't to solve the problems. The appointment is to identify the issues so we could solve the problem, right? I don't care what we're going to price. Pricing your house has not even relevance, even close to this point of the appointment process, right? This is a conversation about, A, do you like me? Do you trust me? Do you believe I'm good at what I do, right? That's really it. And then to that point, how's your communication skills, right? Do you recognize VAK? Do you recognize, are you using NLP skills? Do you recognize DISC? When you go to that appointment, are you going to be like, let me think about what I'm going to say next and sound like a moron, right? And then get ghosted, right? There's one strategy that works, right? Eventually, right? But it's not very smart. And I don't like you bashing all of our names in the process of that process, right? Or say, all right, let me get a little bit better. Look, what else can we do? We've got an AI robot sitting in Beggins University right now that you can print out and pull up on your screen the expired listing script and say, hey, I'm going to practice my expired listings. Would you mind role playing with me? It's going to say, sure, let's go. Right. And then I'm going to say, boom, she's going to respond. I'm going to say, she's going to respond. I'm going to say, she's going to respond. I'm going to say, she's going to respond. Then I'm going to say, will you be a little tougher on me this time? Sure. Let's go. Right. And I can spend half an hour role playing my expired listing script right now in my car. Right. And you can ask her to get tougher and tougher and tougher. And then say, hey, would you mind being a little bit more visual? Okay. And now, okay, switch that and now pretend you're a more kinesthetic person. Right. And start to see if I can pay attention to the words I'm using, guys. This is where we are. This is a skill. This is high level sales, guys. That's what we're here for. Because what do people hire us to do to their house? Sell it? Doesn't that assume that you have what kind of skills? Sales skills, right?
Communication and sales skills. Yes.
Right. So let's just do what we need to be doing. And you're going to have so much income coming. You're not even going to know what to do because you're going to have a big ass smile on your face. And you're going to be living a good, fun life, right? That's
It's
the point.
pretty awesome. We have a Zoom bot that was added to chat for us, and it keeps putting in all the things we're talking about. It's crazy. It's like it's a real person. Like just keeps putting in links to everywhere.
Yeah.
It's this
We
new
named it
C2.
Caitlin. It's interesting.
So
That's
everything
what
that we're
happens when you have somebody that happens to sit on the other side of my office. She gets bombarded with ideas nonstop.
everything we're talking about is in the chat. Every single thing. If you want to learn more about it, see more about it, understand, walk through it, it's all right there in the chat. Click on the links. Even if you just click on the links right now, so it opens the window and we don't lose that little space that you have, click on the link, get there and start looking into it.
All right, so let's talk about how we control the narrative right now, because all we want to do is make people say, whoa, real estate, because they've been going through their life, their life, their life, their life. Real estate is not part of it, and it's about to become part of it. If you're going to wait 10 days until the media talks all about it to force real estate back in their brain, you lost.
Sure. So let's
Right.
get a couple stats out of the way just for everybody to hear. We've had the largest single day drop in mortgage rates last Friday down to 6.29%. Largest single day drop in, I think it was since 2023. We're at the lowest it's been in almost 12 months. There is now a 100% chance on all of the betting sites. There's a 100% chance that they are going to reduce the Fed rate in this first one. The chance that they're going to reduce it by 25 basis points is 100%. The chance that it'll be reduced by 50 basis points went from 0% to 12%. And the chance that by the end of the year, there is a 75% basis point drop went up from 46% to nearly 80%. So those are some of the stats that we're seeing right now. And why is this happening? Well, because some economic factors have come into play. Unemployment ticked up a little bit, but even what they said is although unemployment is up for the second straight month, it's not statistically significant to impact the economy, but it's statistically significant enough for the Fed to go, oh crap, we have to make a change because we have to stimulate the economy. If there's more people not working, less money coming in, we need to stimulate the economy, get more people putting money into the economy. We reduce the long-term rates. And last week, because of that information coming out, the 10-year Treasury took a drop, which directly impacts mortgage rates. That's why we had that single largest drop in one day since 2023. So those are just some stats that are out there. What does that mean for you? That means that the media is going to pick up, and what are their headlines going to be? Jimmy, what did you say that one headline was that you just read?
Well, I have one here, say 11-month low, mortgage rates have fallen to their lowest. Average rates is around 6.2. Uneven inventory, but in the South, we actually have inventory increases. So we have buyers more negotiating leverage.
What's the psychological number? Do you guys know it, as far as that the rates need to drop to get people to become indifferent? We're very close to it, by the way.
Yeah, I think it's a 5.7, I think it was.
5.85. 5.85 is a psychological tolerance zone where people are like, all right, I can do it. It's not 7, it's not 6, and it's 5.85 with a downward trending slope, right? So that's the key. When they see it, I mean, I think we're going to see. I'm one of the guys. I would bet that we're going to get a 50 basis points drop next week, right? I really think so. I think they're so screwed, and they need to figure out a way to get out of it, and that will kind of do a little shock to the system. And the other selfish reason from this is, thank God we have I don't care if you like the president or not, you need to appreciate the fact he's a real estate guy and you're in the real estate business. So the moves that he's making are going to help your business and your personal economy on that aspect.
Here's what people don't understand. Those rates are here right now today. 5.75, 5.85 is a very realistic number for a lot of your borrowers. I would probably say at least half of your borrowers, that's a realistic number. Even with the rate right now, the national rate at 6.29, 5.75 is a very realistic number for a lot of your borrowers. So what's going to happen? What's happening right now is most of them don't realize that. They're just following what the market says. And they just read the headlines: 6.7, 6.5, 6.46, 6.42, 6.29. Now they start asking questions. When they start asking questions, what's their lender going to tell them? I can get you a VA loan at 5.5 to 5.8 right now. I can get you an FHA loan at 5.6 to 5.9 right now. I can get you conventional. If I get you with this point and get the seller to do this, I can get you under 6. They're going to be saying those things, and all of a sudden, wow, holy crap, I didn't realize that. But they would realize it maybe if we had more conversations with them and let them know that those are very strong possibilities right now. Stop waiting for rates to go to the 5s, because I can get you rates into 5s. Let's talk with my lender to see how we can strategize to get you there.
And for everybody on the call, when was the last time you have talked to one of your preferred lenders that you have to see what they actually are offering? That person that you're going to go to when I go to Chris and say, hey, I got this guy. Have you talked to them yet to see what they're actually doing right now? If not, you should be jumping on that game, because that is something that needs to be delivered. That's delivered out there. The news is already giving us some really good information that's kind of just helping with our narrative. But the fact that we can get them even more now and they don't even realize it, again, just have you reached out? Have you talked to them? Do you know what the
Yep.
going rate is right now with your preferred lender? So when you have that conversation, you can go directly to them, give them that information, let them call. When was the last time you talked to your lender? It could have been 2 years ago.
That's right. And we're going to go deeper on this tomorrow, on the weekly meeting as well.
Yeah.
And have some actual text scripts that you can use that will work, that you can copy, paste, and send to your sphere and to your past clients, right? And post. I mean, if you could play around, I posted one that got a lot of engagement, and the views, the insights on it are huge. I mean,
Hold, hold.
copy it, do your own, do something, right? But you're welcome to copy that and paste it, or you don't have to share it. You get more engagement if you don't share, right? I know a lot of you shared that one too, but do something, right? And we'll have some other things for you to do tomorrow, and to send it out there. But guys, get fired up, right? And the whole thing is, you got to have the goals. You got to have something that you're working towards, right? You got to point that board, right? When the wave's coming, where are you going? Where's the shore that you're heading towards? If you don't know where it is, why are you even paddling, right? There's no reason to paddle if you don't know where you're going, right? So your job simply is to, if you don't have that clear number by New Year's Eve and the top 3 things you're going to do with that income goal, then you're wasting all our time too, right? And that's not cool. Well, you're wasting your time and ours, and we don't appreciate that. And you don't appreciate that either. So figure out, all you got to do is New Year's Eve, pat yourself on the back. Look what I've been able to accomplish over the last 18 weeks, and look at the 3 things I was able to do with that level of income. And you're going to be feeling damn good. That's all your job is, right? The rest of the stuff's right here. The links are sitting right there for you, right? And then we're going to keep directing you and pointing you to where you need to be. So takeaway message: get loud, get vocal, and get exhausted over the next 9 days, right? You need to control the media before the media controls their media, right? That's the answer right now. You have to do it, right? If you want to ride, right? If you just want the little bump, you could go do whatever the hell you want to do today, but that's not you, or else you wouldn't be on right now. We've got a huge group on today, which is phenomenal too, right? So that's it. So get ready, get loud, and start getting appointments. Back 3, 4, 5 appointments a week, guys. That's what you need to be having right now. And just advisory roles, advisory appointments. Let's talk about you, where you're going to go in the next, what's your thoughts over the next year about real estate? Let's talk about your micro market. Let's see what we can do to help you. That's all you got to do right now.
Awesome. Well, hey, don't forget at 9:45, we are doing the office hour. So anybody have any questions? I know Joe's going to be leading that one up today. So if you have any questions, feel free to jump in and we'll be able to help coach through anything that you need here at 9:45. But happy Monday, everybody. We will see you bright and squirrely tomorrow for our brokerage meeting and then your office meetings afterwards. So look forward to seeing you all tomorrow.
Very good. And Lauren, thanks for shoving Find a Nemo in my head for the rest of the day.
I know. Yeah, mine.
Thank you, guys. Have a wonderful day. See you in the morning. Bye.